viewer, I welcome you to the Power Circuit. The transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, continuously ensures that you don't miss a bit of this program every week. We also appreciate you, our ardent follower, as you keep yourself updated about milestones in the power sector. I, Amara Agogesi, will be taking you on the news round, and here are the headlines. Minister of Power Chief Adebayo Adelabu upbeat about Nigeria's universal energy access by 2060. At Risk Management Workshop, TCN strategizes on improving operational excellence. Rules Working Group finalizes market procedure for efficiency in Nigerian electricity markets. Also coming your way is a searchlight on the menace of vandalism and the recent Ahada 132 kV transmission line disruption. You will get to see the extent of damage on this critical line that transmits bulk electricity to Bayelsa State. Let's get started. As part of the highlight of activities of the visit of the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, to China in the entourage of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu this month, the minister believes Nigeria will attain universal energy access status by the year 2060. Chief Adelabu confidently expressed this optimism when he addressed dignitaries at a meeting with Chinese investors at the Nigeria-China Forum.
The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, said Nigeria is committed towards achieving universal energy access by the year 2060 and is working with relevant stakeholders across board to realize this objective.
I'm pleased to speak to you today at this forum, focused on exploring the further areas of collaboration between the Federal and the People's Republic of China, energy access by the year 2060.
At the meeting, which also had in attendance Nigeria's Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, the Power Minister revealed the short-term target of Nigeria.
With a short-term target under our vision 30-30-30 to attain 30 gigawatts of grid energy supply with a 30% renewable energy mix by year 2030.
According to the minister, these targets present an opportunity for further partnership between the Chinese investment community and the Federal Republic of Nigeria to increase cleaner and more sustainable energy solutions penetration as Nigeria strives to achieve energy security and meet the demands of the growing economy.
In a strategic move to fortify its operational resilience, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, convened a two-day risk management workshop. The gathering, which took place at the TCN corporate headquarters in Abuja, had the objective of empowering staff members with cutting-edge strategies for managing potential risk.
The improvement of operational performance is always a continuous activity in organizations. The management of Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is fully aware of this and graciously approved the risk management workshop to drive home this objective. Present at the meeting was the Executive Director, Transmission Service Provider at TCN, Engineer Oluwagbenga Ajiboye. Declaring the workshop open, the Executive Director, Human Resources and Corporate Services, Mrs. Abiodun Afolabi, emphasized the importance of risk management in achieving operational excellence.
Our purpose here today is to chart a positive course for the future of our esteemed company by implementing an enterprise risk management policy framework for TCN. We employ all departments and regions to work together for the course of this program. Risk management department is a very important department in TCN.
Also speaking, The Executive Director, Finance and Accounts, Mr. Chukwuka Ochije, spoke about making plans to handle issues of emergency which can also affect the operation of TCN, advising participants to study all aspects of these risks in the power sector.
Almost 80% of what we do is based on emergency because electricity industry is factored to be so. Because you might be planning one thing and discover that another thing will happen. And what do? We intend to be on fire brigade approach. We have been hearing a lot like emergency firewall, emergency erosion control. So that is why we were looking at internal control and communication measures. How do we now face this emergency? At the time you discover that there are some fish got bonds and transformers got bonds. All of them has to do with what? Emergency situation. Then at times you hear about erosion control. Our towers are being threatened, and it has to do with what? Emergency, and we are under crisis situation.
The Assistant General Manager, Risk Management, Engineer Afam Agui, in a presentation, elaborated on the department's primary objectives. Engineer Agui, who is the pioneer head of the department, highlighted the department's achievements, including the formulation of a risk identification module, production of risk management reports, and analysis of the vulnerability of TCN installations nationwide.
Following the creation of the department, we have been able to coordinate and have the risk management process in consonance with the ISO 31000 risk management guidelines. This is the international standard for risk management across all the regions, TSP and ISO, corporate headquarters and the PIUs, while also developing and managing an organization-wide risk register. We have actively evolved dynamic risk management strategy for the management through insights derived from the risk assessment activities of the department.
The participants went through an interactive session where they got to increase their knowledge about managing risks in the peculiar case of bulk electricity transmission.
The Power Circuit continues right after this break.
Did you know that our high-tension transmission cables are built to withstand high temperatures, except artificially induced ones such as fire? Did you know that burning bush or refuse dumped by TCN's transmission tower base or along the transmission line's right-of-way is an offence? Did you know that the fire can cause high-tension transmission lines to snap and fall to the ground, electrocuting living things within the line radius? Did you know that extreme fire can cause the legs of transmission towers to buckle, and that buckling of the main frame of a tower will lead to its collapse and may even pull down other towers along that transmission line's route, causing untold damage to the line? Now that you know, TCN is calling all citizens of Nigeria to please desist from destroying our collective national investment. Be careful. Do not set fire on trash or burn bush beside transmission towers or under electricity lines nationwide. Help us preserve the transmission grid and save the nation from blackout.
TCN, transmitting bulk electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
Just as there is the domestic petroleum market in Nigeria, there is also the Nigerian electricity market, NEM. This market facilitates the trading of electricity among key players in the power sector value chain, starting from the generation companies through transmission company and finally to distribution companies, which deliver electricity to the end consumers. To enhance the efficiency of these markets, there is a rules working group, RWG, that makes the market rules. This group has finalized the review of the market rules procedure in the Nigerian electricity market as approved by the initial stakeholders advisory panel and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC.
The Rules Working Group held its periodic meeting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital, where the members harmonized and finalized the market rules procedure. The essence of this documented market rules procedure is to improve efficiency and implementation in the Nigerian electricity market, said the then head of the group and market operator, Ali Ahmed Bukar.
The Rules Working Group is along other working groups enshrined in the market rules. Section 11, 11.1, 11.2, 11.3 of the market rules. They are supposed to be a standing working group that helps the market operator to review on a lighter note the provisions of the market rules and market procedure, and also to work hand in hand with stakeholder advisory panel. In fact, on this hand, we'll be advising the market operator, interpreting on his behalf, reviewing the market rules constantly every day, even if there are no requests from the participants in the electricity market. And on the other hand, we also have to report to the stakeholder advisory panel for anything we do in terms of amendment of the market rules.
The group's meeting came at the priority period when there is an urgent need to review and align the market rules with the Electricity Act 2023 to ensure that clear rules govern the Nigerian electricity supply industry.
This time around, we have to review the market rules to conformity with the Electricity Act 2023, and that is just what we have done. Secondly, the second strategy, which also has been provided for in the market rules, is actually the composition of the rules working group, because it's drawn from generation, hydro, from thermal generation, from discourse, from market operator, system operator, and the TSP. So everybody is represented in Rules Working Group.
Also at the meeting, the chairman of the Rules Working Group, Mr. Ali Bukar, handed over to the new head of the group, Professor Steve Ogaji.
The key objectives of the Rule Working Group is to actually support the Stakeholders Advisory Panel, or the ISAP as it's called at the moment, in reviewing the market rules and looking at the dynamics and things that change, and ensure that it is reflected properly in the market rules to guide the operations of the NEM, as it's called. So that's our goal, and there's so much that the current Rule Working Group has already achieved. However, there are still some areas that we need to look at, including reflecting changes that have come about as a result of the Electricity Act. That opens a very wide window of activities that need to be well reflected on and reported through the ISAP to the Commission.
Professor Ogaji further highlighted the impact the Rules Working Group has created in the Nigerian electricity market.
The group has actually met quite a lot of obligations, starting from the review of the guidelines for the group review. We have also almost completed the review of the procedure, market procedures, and also we are also looking at a review of the market rules. holistically, working with documents that have been provided by another group or committee set up by the regulator, and we're going to look at all those and be able to submit. So I would say the group has actually achieved a lot within the short time that we have been able to meet.
Assistant General Manager, Market Competitions and Rates at the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Mrs. Chigozie Azikiwe, was an observer of the proceedings for the Rules Working Group meeting in Port Harcourt. Hear her speak.
I'm really glad that I attended this meeting. As an observer, I was sent by the Stakeholders Advisory Panel to watch what the group is doing. As the chairman has said earlier, the Rules Working Group is supposed to support the ISAP in reviewing of the market rules. And the group has done so much work since they started work about 2 or 3 years ago. So being here has exposed me to the tedious job that it requires for them to actually have that particular task implemented.
Vandalism is a menace in society and must be condemned on all fronts. Experts explain this act as the destruction of critical infrastructure for the purpose of self-profiteering or for mere sabotage that affects the general public. The Transmission Company of Nigeria (TCN) has 8 substations and transmission lines spread across states in Nigeria to deliver bulk electricity, which is then supplied to consumers from the distribution companies. This noble objective of TCN is often challenged when vandals destroy these lines at different points. In this edition, we have a searchlight on the recent vandalism of 13 transmission towers along the Ahada to Yenegua 132 kV double circuit transmission line. This is between Bayelsa State and Rivers State.
The incident, which completely took off bulk electricity to Bayelsa State, was first reported by the youth president of the Ukpeli community in Rivers State on August 12, 2024. It is important to note that the Ahoda to Yenegua 132 kV double circuit transmission line is crucial for evacuating power from the Ahoda transmission substation to the Yenegua substation, which supplies electricity to the entire Bayelsa State. Mobilizing his team, the General Manager Transmission at the Port Harcourt region of TCN, Engineer Emmanuel Akpa, promptly visited the site near the TCN's Ahoda transmission substation to assess the situation. The team confirmed that 13 towers from T52 to T64 were affected by vandalism. Of these, 9 towers have collapsed completely, while 4 were almost collapsing.
This is one of the greatest challenge we have in Port Harcourt region. Virtually everywhere, you see all the towers, all the members of the tower, they remove all these boards, removing all the lower side of. As we are coming on the road, almost virtually all the towers, they have removed all the lower members.
The 13 vandalized towers are located in several communities, including Okobe in Ahoda East, Emezi 1 in Ahoda West, and Mpiama in Ahoda West local government areas of Rivers State, as well as the Bugene community in Bayelsa State. TCN had recently responded to the vandalism and subsequent collapse of towers 97 to 99 on the same line route on July 29, 2024, with work still ongoing to rebuild the vandalized towers when the latest incident occurred. The company was also reinforcing towers 19 to 31 on the Ahoda-Yenegua line, where tower members had been vandalized and stolen. Given the extent of the destruction of the towers and the ongoing work on previously vandalized transmission towers, the Port Harcourt regional head estimated the line restoration timeline from the initial time the line was vandalized.
We mobilize and look for a competent contractor, because this is beyond our staff handling. So they are going to get a competent contractor who will mobilize, who will be an emergency. It's an emergency to mobilize to come and see what could be done.
Well, you have seen the extent of the line's destruction before the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN spent huge resources to fix it alongside other sections so it could restore bulk power to Bayelsa State. TCN is appealing to you, security operatives, host communities, traditional rulers, state governments, and all stakeholders to collaborate with TCN in the fight against power installation vandalism. TCN is already recording gains as security operatives are apprehending vandals nationwide, and we want our support to enable them to do more. If you suspect any act of vandalism, kindly report this to the nearest TCN office and the nearest security post. Let's take a recap of the reports. We told you that the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, is upbeat about Nigeria's universal energy access by 2060. At Risk Management Workshop, TCN strategizes on improving operational excellence. Rules Working Group finalizes market procedure for efficiency in Nigerian electricity markets. We also brought to you a spotlight on the menace of vandalism and the recent Ahada 132 kV transmission line disruption. You saw the extent of damage on the critical line that transmits bulk electricity to Bayelsa State, just as TCN seeks your support to curb this vandal issue. TCN has made this episode and the previous ones available for you on the TCN YouTube channel. Kindly connect with TCN on all its social media platforms by liking the TCN page on Facebook via Transmission Company of Nigeria. Also follow TCN on X, formerly Twitter, by searching for @TCN_Nigeria. Experience TCN and its activities on Instagram as you click TCN_Nigeria. Please send your observations and comments by email to affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. And for more information about TCN, visit the interactive website www.tcn.org.ng. Do you want to get information about TCN on the go? Then www.tcnnews.ng is also another site for you where TCN keeps you updated about power sector activities. Please keep up the good job in protecting power transmission lines, towers and substations in your community. With your support, TCN has heightened collaborations with security operatives, and gains have been recorded in nabbing those perpetuating these acts of vandalism. I am Amara Agogoesi. Have a good time.